What a way to start the new year. I have absolutely no intro done. So, hi, welcome to Last Call. How's it going? And Age of Boomer, what you sipping on? Boy, you
I
look
got
different tonight.
I got myself a Coca-Cola here. I'm having a late dinner at the moment, so I'll try
Okay,
not to chew too hard into the mic.
that's fine if you share what you're eating.
I have a Five Guys BLT. Five Guys they make the burgers,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. They make BLTs, huh?
they make BLT, so I'm trying. It's not bad. It's on a
That's
hamburger
good.
roll
That's
though. Yeah.
good. I dig that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
mhm,
I've been
go ahead.
having Netter and I have been having a lot of ham because we had a full size ham for Christmas, and so that means ham and bake or ham and eggs in the morning, ham and cheese in the afternoon, some more ham at night. I'm going to turn into a pig, let me tell you. Just
Goes great with eggs.
it really does. I mean, it's not bacon, but it's
You can
pretty
fry it up
cool.
like bacon, kind of. You can put it on the fryer
Oh,
with the eggs. It's
oh
good.
yeah,
Good
you
stuff.
absolutely can. Let me tell you. But and I'm sipping on. I got a hot buttered rum. Just real butter, real rum, real brown sugar. The old fashioned way.
Cool.
And Netter, how you doing? And what you sipping on?
I am doing great. The week is over. My
Mm,
boss returns on Tuesday because we're closed on Monday. And she's going to see all the work I did while she was out that she didn't have to worry about. So I'll give you more kudos.
there you go.
Yeah, it's like this week, this has been a week of kudos. We have these things at work. They're called Awardco. So you can award points to really anybody in the company. Like regular people like me, you start off with 50 points and you can give however many you want to whoever. So, usually you want to do like 5 or 10 so you can dole them out to more people. Well, my boss, she gets a group for everybody, and then she gets a group of points just for her staff that's under
Right.
her. So I'm going through my emails, and I see one, award code, 50 points. I'm like, cool, 50 points, nice. And it was something like, willingness to step up, da 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 da. I'm like, that's pretty cool, from my boss. A couple of emails later, I see another one, 50 points, from my boss. Willingness to step in and learn new projects, take on new things, da da da
Oh,
da da. I'm like, cool. Okay, so that must have been her to everybody and to her staff. I'm like, okay. Go down a few more emails. There's a third one, 50 points from my boss. And this one was still along the lines of always willing to like stay late without anybody asking, making sure I put the customer first, da 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 da. So I got 150 award code points just from my boss. Then I got 25 points from my boss's boss, got 100 points from the company, and then all these other little people were giving me like 5 and 10 points just for helping them out throughout the year. I have 515 points.
It's always nice when people actually recognize all that you do.
do you get
Yeah.
But
like tickets like you do at the arcade to get a prize with for points?
I think they equate to 1 point equals $1. So
Oh
I can
wow.
actually get a gift card for the 500 points.
yeah, that's kind of nice. I
Yeah.
mean, talk about incentive. Talk about really showing appreciation. I love to hear that she gets encouraged that way. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really nice. And then I got a $100 Amazon gift card from the sales team.
There
It's
you
like,
go.
nice.
Speaking of encouraging, I want to reach out and greet the chat, starting with the first one I'm seeing here, Joshua V, who's saying no offense, but why did you post a video about a little match girl story? Did you listen to it? It's a New Year story.
In a way, that was your lead-in for the show, if you think about it.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the that.
I actually had recorded a monologue and just didn't get around to editing it into my usual opening, so I didn't get to it. But yeah. So Joshua V points out I did a I don't know, you want to call it a dramatic reading of Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Match Girl. I'd wanted to do that for a long time, but I had been planning to do it for Christmas, and then I realized it's actually a New Year's story. It takes place on New Year's Eve. Kind of shows how one poor little match girl saw in the new year. Love it if you'd go check it out. Let me know what you thought.
That could be a movie by the makers of that Winnie the Pooh movie. They could do a Revenge of the Little Matchstick Girl.
Revenge of the Little Matchstick Girl. Yeah. Yeah. So David Pensack batting down the hatches, out with the old year, in with the new year. Triples all the way around. Drink up, everyone. Oh, I like how you think, David. That's good. Matanui, hi, always good to see you. Tim Hayes, super appreciate you. Tim Hayes, kind of a new friend in this year. So as we're looking back to, things that we're thankful for in the past year and whatnot, Tim Hayes joining the community and hanging out with me on Friday nights and in the various chats and on the social medias and stuff. Very, very encouraging. Super, super appreciate that. Sir Torrin Clegane, good evening, everyone. Good to see you, my friend. Big Al presents. What is it? Hello, everyone. Have a great stream, Kraken Master. There you go, Kraken. Big Al just dropped a review of Spoiler Warning. Spoiler alert. That's what it is. Spoiler alert. And that is the title of the movie, not just the fact that there are spoilers for the story.
Spoilers, sweetie.
Spoilers. Yes. We'll also be thinking back and remembering a time when we actually enjoyed Doctor Who. But go check out Big Al's review of that. It's, kind of like I said, my Little Matchstick Girl is a happy little fairy tale for New Year's. His is apparently a rom-com about a real person that died. That's something to laugh about, I guess. But he makes it sound good. It does sound interesting, so it might be worth checking out.
That reminded me of in Amelie, how the Princess Di death was sort of a running gag in that movie. That French movie, and I thought that was a little odd.
Yeah.
It's like, is that how the French viewed the whole British monarchy thing at the time? I don't know.
David says, it just occurred to me that I've spent more time watching this channel than I did in any movie theater all year, plus shows I've watched streamed the past year as well. It's interesting you say that, because a lot of people that I talk to outside of the YouTube sphere and whatnot, or even, behind the scenes and whatnot. So you don't watch TV? Well, what do you watch? Mostly YouTube. Channels like this,
Philo. $20 a month.
What is?
Philo.
Yeah, Philo, if you want to watch some TV or some
Hallmark
movies.
Christmas movies.
Netter watches our Hallmark movies and whatnot. But, even that stuff, I'm not really that interested in. It's, I just today spent 2 hours watching last night's stream of Nina Infinity interviewing Robert Barnes. And I'm like, really? Someone from, the geek fandom and someone from the law tubes that I, really, really admire. It's like two worlds that I enjoy kind of come and crash together. I thought that was really, really cool. But anyway, yes, deleted scenes is late, but that's okay. You more than earn the right to be late, being such a hard-working Blue Wrench. Let's see, what else we got? Okay. I don't know why it just skipped like that on me. So they're all saying hi to each other, which is really awesome. Netter with her hi sweeties to everybody. Matanui, I had a decent enough holiday, managed to squeeze 5 video games out of it. Nice. That is nice. Evelyn Hampton, welcome. Good evening, miss. Good to see you, Admiral. Pacific 414 stopped by to wish everyone all the best in 2023. Cheers and kapla. Yep, I know you've got to make the rounds, Pacific 414, but definitely a channel worth subscribing to. But then again, all of y'all probably already have, because he was on my stream earlier this year, and I asked y'all to subscribe to him then. So I'm sure you probably did then. If you didn't then, please do so now. Just as you subscribe to all of each other and deleted scenes. And here we go. Yes, exactly.
Big
And I
like
would
every
appreciate if y'all would just double check to make sure you're still subbed to me, because I lost another subscriber. I think it's just YouTube being weird. So if you could please just double check to see if you're still subbed to me. And if you're not, please do.
I got to say right now, I'm not sweating the losing onesies and twosies because
You're over 500.
Well,
I'm still trying to hit my 2 so I can give away prizes.
there is that. But the other thing is, I'll see sometimes, so and so subscribed to you, and I'll go and I'll look at the channel, and it's like they're not subscribed to anyone else in our community, and they have no videos on their channel, and it's the people that they follow are like completely unrelated. And I'm like, I'm not so sure this is somebody that's actually watching my channel,
No, but they're trying to be encouraging.
or they're just a bot, I'm just saying these days it's really hard to tell unless you make a real connection with somebody. Pacific 414, I had a great time meeting you all as well. And, going forward, I'm hoping that some of the people that hung out with us on camera, in person, not in person, whatever you call this that we're doing, that did that this past year, that we can do it again, like do a follow-up, I just think that would be really cool. But,
Sweetie, you can bring me in. It's just my regular
okay, if you want to come in, you can come in.
Well, people are hearing this disembodied voice coming off the screen.
Well, yeah, there you go. So,
oh my goodness,
welcome, Netter. You might want to shave next time, Netter, before you.
That's
come
my Santa Wolfie.
Yeah, there you go. And Agent Boomer, how's Six Flags? Sir Torrance said, do, 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 do. Yeah, well,
I like those commercials.
I do too.
They still make them, or are those done? Those are probably over. I've been rewatching the Taco Bell dog commercials from the 90s. Remember those?
Year lizard.
I love, the Godzilla one. I remember that.
Yeah.
And they did the Star Wars one where it was the pizza girl, Colonel Sanders, and the Taco Bell dog were going to, for Star Wars. Remember?
I don't remember that. Was that
when
in the 90s?
Phantom Menace came out?
Oh,
they was like 3 heroes will come together to save the galaxy, and they had to make up someone for pizza, so it's a pizza delivery girl, and it was Colonel Sanders, and it was the Taco Bell dog because it was across all the chains. You understand?
Yeah, I get that.
Colonel Sanders had a lightsaber.
I would imagine he would. It keeps jumping on me. I was trying to feature Big Al saying voice of an angel. I'm presuming he means Netter, of course. Couldn't possibly mean me. And everyone's confirming that they are still subscribed to Netter. Yeah, I think our regular... And see, that's the other thing, too. I was thinking about this the other day. We kind of tell people this. I think it's something that not enough YouTubers mention. They do the, like and subscribe and, share out the stream and da-da-da-da. But the one thing I think you really need to do more than any of that is every now and again, watch a video, and that's not you guys that are all here. You guys do that. I mean, that's not what we're talking about. But if you do like a lot of well-intending people do, someone shares out the stream and says, hey, subscribe, this person's trying to get to this number, they're trying to get to that number, and you just go to the channel and subscribe, I think YouTube tends to take those subs away eventually if you don't actually spend some time watching and going back. And that's the other thing. A lot of people are always talking about how just because you've clicked the bell, sometimes YouTube doesn't notify you. I'll tell you what, the channels I watch all the time, I always get notification. The ones that I'm subscribed to and hit the notification bell, but don't usually go and watch, I don't always get those notifications. I kind of see how it works. It kind of makes sense. So
that was your public service announcement.
And Matt Anui makes a great point. Only way I've seen people get rid of bots is to turn on sub-only mode. Yeah, there's that. Of course,
I have. Subs can look at the channel, though, right?
I think that means only subscribers can comment,
Oh,
in
interesting.
and Skipper Kenner,
Interesting.
welcome, my friend. Aged Boomer, I worked with a guy who knew our beloved Great American spokesman.
Huh. Cool. Was he nice?
Is that before or after he murdered somebody?
Did he really?
Yeah, that whole Rust thing, well, we were just watching the Babylon Bee yesterday. It's the Alec Baldwin rule.
No. I think he's talking about the Six Flags guy.
Oh, yeah, I didn't catch
I'm
that.
sorry, you see that face, and that's
because you were the only two that had commented on my video. I thought he was talking about Alec Baldwin.
That's a Rob Zombie movie right there. That's the seeing this guy hacking you up. I mean, that's.
So it's like the Six Flags guys killed somebody. What?
No. Okay, see, now it was creepy. I was completely lost on that one. Yeah. Heck, I don't even know who the Six Flags guy is. We've never actually seen him without that makeup on. It's like, I don't know.
You don't wear makeup. That's him.
I'm not sure he was really that old. See, I think that was makeup. For all we know, it was Eddie Murphy. Right? Right. But yeah. So anyway, those of you that haven't gotten a chance to check it out, that video that we were talking about, I did the reading of the little matchstick girl, and the whole story of the little matchstick girl is she comes from a poor family. Her father sent her out in the snow to sell matches to make some money for the family, and she isn't able to sell a single one. And despite the joking that I was doing, it's pretty tragic what happens to her. And she couldn't sell, so she has a tragic ending, right? And over here, Agent Boomer says he puts the meme from Glenn Ross. Always be closing. Survival is for winners, or for closers, excuse me. It's like, wow, that's brutal.
I'm seeing this little fair-haired. Where did Hans Christian Andersen come from? Holland? Was that where he's from? Like Dutch girl, and I'm seing Alec Baldwin yelling at her.
Yeah, he's Scandinavian.
You call yourself a salesman, you son of a.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So here's the thing: Little Matchstick Girl isn't entirely fictional. It was inspired, at least partly, by stories his mother told him. She actually was in a situation like that where her father sent her out to sell matchsticks. It was considered, it was dishonorable to beg. So you had to at least sell something. So selling a matchstick, was at least, not begging.
Is this where the whole thing selling apples in the streets come from, like an American thing?
Well, let's face it. This is going back to the dawn of man, right? You trade services for survival, right? It's just what you do, and so obviously his mother did not, die in the streets as a little girl. She, grew up and got married and had Hans Christian Andersen, right? But the idea of it, nonetheless, and. I think if Hans Christian Andersen was writing today, I think people would be giving him grief the way they give it to Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, yeah.
And what's his name that did Buffy?
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon, right? Because he's always talking about shoes and bare feet. But that's because his father was a cobbler, right? So he understood shoes and fitting and feet, and he associated being well off with having shoes that fit you, never having cold feet. Your health was directly connected to the health of your feet in his mind. It wasn't anything weird or anything like that. It actually makes sense when you understand the context. Sometimes history matters in these things, but I think Hollywood's completely lost track of all that kind of stuff.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
The now 46-year-old Danny Thiessen portrayed the mascot known as Mr. Six. Oh, he's Mr. Six. I didn't even know he had a name. The Six Flag.
So he
So
was
yeah, he
in
was,
his 20s when he was playing that guy.
or was he 46 at the time? Either way, he's not, that old, clearly, yeah,
He had unique features. That's why they chose him.
Regarding my little magic girl, no matter how poor I end up, I wouldn't trust my sons in public with matchsticks. I know your sons. That's probably very wise. Yeah, that's an excellent point there. J Law would play her in the film version and update one, of course.
J Law.
Law.
J Lo.
No, J.
Oh,
Law.
Jennifer Lawrence. Okay.
Oh no, didn't she? I'm assuming she did. She was the first one to play the little.
I was the
girl.
first little girl that had to sell matchsticks.
That's right.
No one paid me anything.
This was before Hans Christian Andersen's mom did.
And I would have died in the cold if it wasn't for my own survival instincts of how to build an igloo that I learned from the Inuit. Yeah.
And that is such a funny thing because she is getting ripped apart in social media, even by the people you consider to be the woke leftists of the day. I mean, they're coming out of the woodwork going, hello, girl. Because it's not just a left, right, male, female kind of thing. It's now become an age thing. It's like, girl, we've all gone before you and fought these fights, and you better understand your place, girl. You're late to the party here. But she thinks she was the first.
She must be besties with Brie Larson.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's. Oh gosh, it's been a. We want to talk about 2022, but it's the third year of some pretty insane crap. You'd have thought this kind of stuff would be starting in the year 2000. We thought the year 2000 was going to be the big, everything was going to change. No. Who knew? 2020. I mean,
awful. This
was the year the world changed, or we became aware of what was going on in the world. I think it was happening for a long time.
I've not liked 2022. This is not.
I mean, there is not anything good to say about entertainment. What we've had Maverick, right?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters was last year, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't this year. No, I mean, I'm not picking on Sony, except I am picking on Sony because they released Morbius. Of course, who knows if they released it Thanksgiving weekend, they could have owned the box office.
You're probably right on that one.
No.
I mean, I'm almost inclined to say I haven't seen this Morbius thing, and I've seen the meme. It's Morbin time.
No,
but honestly, I may end up having to see this thing just to see what it's like because
that would be a nice drunk stream. Watch Morbius.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, I mean, it might be bad, but at least it's not. From everything I've heard, it's not offensive. That's the problem. A lot of this stuff has been both bad and offensive.
It's not quote unquote woke. It's just a bad movie. I don't know. Matt Smith. Dancing shirtless. I don't know. Some may find that offensive, some may not. I don't know.
Well, there's that. Skipper Kenner said, on a serious note, you did an amazing reading on the little matchstick girl. You mentioned that on so I'm gonna take you at your word and guess you're not setting me up for a joke on that.
No,
one.
you did a good
when
job.
You repeat that, I take it that you mean that sincerely. Although it's a rare occurrence when Skipper Kenner is sincere.
That's why I saved the GIF for MeWe.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't want to say always be closing on the actual video.
I haven't watched Maverick all the way through yet. Keep getting interrupted. I know.
I hate it when that happens.
Well, you got kids. It's that again.
That happened with me first watching of Goodfellas. I kept getting interrupted like every 10 minutes. It's like I think I rented it or something. It's like, leave me alone. I'm trying to watch my movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay. Here's where we get R-rated. I'm having flashes of what was that? Idiocracy. You know, where he's watching TV and someone's knocking on the door. He goes, "Go away, baiting." You know, just to get people to leave him alone. That's how you get your privacy, right? You know, David, that is an incredible compliment. You can moonlight doing voiceover work now. I'll tell you what. One thing that I've wanted to do, and I think what I would need to do is get a good source for royalty-free music. Because one thing that I've really wanted to do, inspired by, and I don't think we've ever done this for like a good old days or anything, but remember that show Beauty and the Beast with Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman? Anybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vaguely. I didn't watch it, but I remember.
Ron Perlman plays a beast by the name of Vincent, and it's set in the modern day, but he's very much a cultured, despite being a beast, he studies poetry and literature and all that kind of stuff. And so he quotes a lot of poetry throughout the
Wasn't
show.
there a bad guy that was after him too on the show?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I remember that. And like
And,
he looked normal, was that what it was? But he was really a monster on the inside. Is that
exactly. And Vincent was But so what they did was they did an album that used the incidental music from the show, including the theme music, and then they took the theme music and put lyrics to it. And he would recite poetry, classical poetry, like Matthew Arnold and Shakespeare's sonnets and so forth. And it's just beautiful. In fact, the story is that, and Ron Perlman got what's the award you get for recorded, a Grammy. He got a Grammy for it. And it's just spoken word, reading poetry. It was kind of like ASMR before there was, a word for ASMR, right? Very, very, very mellow, very beautiful. I learned a lot of romantic poetry just from listening to that album over and over and over again. And I've wanted to do something like that. And that's partly the kind of thing that kind of inspired that. So I would like to do more reading of that kind of stuff on this channel. I think I'll drop videos like that from time to time. But
that's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah. I like to watch things when no one is in the house. That way I can relax without hearing someone calling me or everyone else is sleeping. Yeah, I get that.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Although I did tell the story on the stream some weeks back about watching The Ring when I was alone. And how it freaked me the hell out.
That's a creepy movie.
It was. I wanted to try and do a dramatic reading of the Dance with Dragons epilogue. I just need a cast to play the different characters. That's an interesting idea. I like that. Sometime this year, I think I just have to break down the chapter and script it. One of the things and it's hard because there's only so many people that, and the fandom is shrinking when it comes to Star Trek. I've talked a bunch of times about the Klingon Christmas Carol, and Nanette and I have been to the Chicago performances of that many times. And I said, another great play that they should do, and I don't mean musical, I mean play, would be Les Miserables with all Star Trek cast. Because I could see like the Thénardiers being like Ferengis, and I could see Javert being Romulan. I don't know, something like that.
They made allusions to Les Miserables on Deep Space Nine, remember?
Pardon me?
They made allusions to on
that's right.
The Maquis, the Federation guy that betrayed Cisco and went with the Maquis.
Exactly. No, you're right. I'd forgotten about that.
There was a great scene where he said, the Federation, if you think about it, we're worse than the Borg. And that must have set Cisco off because, of course, his wife was killed by the Borg. So he did not like that comparison. I think that's when he decided.
Are you sure you aren't talking about William Shatner? No. I don't mean spoken word songs like Rocket Man. I mean actual poems that are meant to be spoken words. If I wanted to do a cover of a song, You know, I'd be on Jedi Bill's channel doing the karaoke. I will actually sing, you know. Oh, and Big Al says he has that LP. I had it on cassette. I actually had multiple cassettes of it. It's one of those cassettes that I kind of ended up wearing out from playing over and over and over again. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think I'd be bringing that up on tonight's stream, but there you go. In fact, who knows? Maybe I'll start by taking some of my favorite poems that Ron Perlman did in there and do them myself. Anyway, what I was starting to say about that was that Ron Perlman, he won this Grammy for the spoken word album or whatever, and in order to get into character and to sound the way he was supposed to sound to be in that character, he got into full makeup with the teeth and the whole bit to recite, the poetry. And I don't know, I can kind of see it. He sounds like Vincent. He doesn't sound like Ron Perlman playing any other role that he's played, at least roles that Ron Perlman's played where he had lines. Because before Beauty and the Beast, most of his, roles were non-speaking behind a mask.
True.
But it was a lot of years before he started doing roles where you actually saw his face. Now,
he was the voice of Clayface on Batman the Animated Series. Did you know that?
No, but that makes sense. Yeah. But now I'm at the point where I wish he'd just shut his mouth. I'm just tired of hearing the bastard. But Of Love and Hope, Music and Poetry from Beauty and the Beast. That's right. That is the full title. You're right. I don't know. I'd actually like to. Well, I'll tell you what. I'd love to hear Avery Brooks sing Stars because I know Avery Brooks can sing. He's also in the right range to sing Javert. And let's face it, he can't be worse than what's his name, the Gladiator. Help me out here. Who played Javert?
In what?
In the movie. He also played in the Gladiator. See?
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Him, yeah.
That guy.
It was an LA Confidential. Why does this always happen to me? Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, yeah. He's got to be better than Russell Crowe. Shatner Blues album was #1, restored my belief that the world is the way I see it and not as adults do. There you go. Oh, hey, Maria, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, Maria didn't have a stream tonight because she was struggling with her internet. And, well, we all know how that is. Netter and I have had some internet problems recently ourselves. So I'm crossing my fingers that I'll be able to host the movie for Big Al tomorrow because my upload speeds have been very, very slow for whatever reason. And if you ever want to borrow William Shatner Christmas album, let me know. No, I'm fine with the Christmas.
Skipper Kenner, do you want my ears to bleed?
Yeah, see, I'm fine with the Star Wars Christmas Among the Stars and the holiday special. I'll be just fine, thanks, buddy. And yeah, I knew that if we vamped long enough, Sir Torin would get the answer for us. And who would Garrick play in Les Mis? That's a good one. Garrick would be, he's a tailor.
Is he a tailor?
He's a tailor and a spy.
I could see him being one of the group that's standing up for victory and their rights and all that.
You think he'd be one of the people at the barricade? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And Whole Race,
but not Marius, like the other guy.
Yeah, and Whole Race. Maybe. He's a little old for the role, but maybe.
Well, you also have to keep in mind he's kind of a coward.
No, he's not.
He always seemed to be to me.
Yeah, he pretended to be.
He pretended to be a coward.
He was vicious and shrewd. Yeah.
You found out about his backstory about what got him kicked out and about why he was called a coward because he didn't want to torture some Bajoran children that he knew nothing, and he gave them some food and let them go, and that's what got him kicked out of the spy order, because he wasn't gonna, and so he was called a coward for that. He broke down when he was on some drug or something and told.
See, and I did like stories like that in Deep Space Nine, because those were inspired by real war stories. Yeah. There were a lot of good real war stories. Those, I guess, what you'd call morally ambiguous stories that really happened in war. We were talking before the stream about, world events and how people tend to come down on, this side is the good side and this side is the bad. And it's like, this is not fiction. This is the real world. There is far more nuance. There are no good guys. There are no bad guys. Okay? There's just who you benefit from and if it's worth supporting them, and why. Why is it worth supporting them? It's true. If you know anyone who ever served in combat, they'll come back and tell you the war stories. If they're able to talk about them. And they will say, yeah, I went out there idealistic. I went out there believing I was fighting for right. And then these things happened. And these were the things we were ordered to do. And these are the things I did. And this is what I have to live with. And then you wonder why there's such a high rate of self-deletion among our veterans.
Yeah, it's not cool.
No. And I have no problem talking about it because it's something that doesn't get enough attention and absolutely deserves it. You talk about thank you for your service. Understand what that service was and be truly thankful for it. That's the one thing I was talking about with a couple weeks back. I did a discussion with Pops on Pop Culture about A Few Good Men. And we're breaking down the movie from a narrative standpoint, saying, how Colonel Jessup is your quintessential bad guy, right? He is evil. He is wrong. But when he gives that speech about standing on the wall, and I'd prefer you just say thank you, either pick up a gun and stand a post or stay out of my way. Either way, I don't care. It's like, he's not wrong, right? That's an idea that they've covered in Star Trek too. It's this idea that we send people into combat to do all the horrible things that we won't do ourselves to keep us safe. We're complicit in any bad thing that our soldiers do that you want to condemn them for. You're complicit. They were doing that for you. And you live under the liberties and freedoms that they fought for. And if you don't like how they did it, it's a damn shame. You're still reaping those blessings. Think about that. And the next time you go and condemn someone for this and condemn them for them, look at yourself in the mirror. As you're talking about who's ist and phobe and so forth, and you're typing on a computer or using a phone that's powered with lithium batteries, right? And stuff that literally was made by slave labor of children in Africa. Tell me you're not. Tell me you're not some sort of ist, right? It's okay. Yeah. It's okay that I live, I'm going to condemn people that don't like certain people and, institutional isms and slavery and blah, blah, blah. And you are literally benefiting from it right now in the real world, real time.
Okay.
That's what I learned in 2022.
Let's get a little bit happier.
Well, I don't know if this is happier, but I was going to ask, you brought up the Star Trek fandom. What's the state of the Star Trek fandom right now? I mean,
what I was starting to say is that we don't have
maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. Okay.
We don't have as big a Star Trek fandom as we used to. It literally is true that the older generation, the ones that grew up with the original series and whatnot, are dying off. That's just a fact of life. We get older.
We're losing the
We
actors
eventually
too.
die. We're losing all the actors,
Yeah.
right? And the ones that we aren't losing, we're starting to find out that they're not as holier than thou as they pretend to be. Oh my. Yeah. So tell me all about how bad, a former president was, and then go deal with your lawsuit. I don't know.
Well, we still got Shatner.
I'll tell you, I never used to like William Shatner, as a personality.
Right.
But he's been growing on me lately. He's starting to make a lot more sense, But
Skipper Kenner has this. What's he talking about here?
As a Star Trek fan, the state of my fandom is the William Shatner Christmas album. Troy and I refuse to recognize the brilliance of. You're a dumbass.
Didn't they all have albums coming out at some point? Didn't Brent Spiner have an album? As I
Brent
recall?
Spiner had a very good album.
Yellow Eyes is back.
Netter got that album. It was so when Netter and I were first dating. This would have been 90, 91, 92. We were married in 92. Started dating in 91. Anyway, right around that time, between 91 and 92, Netter bought a 5-disc CD changer. CDs were fairly new at the time. And she bought me my first CD, which was Prince and the New Power Generation, Diamonds and Pearls. Love that album. Rosie Gaines. Good stuff. And she bought herself, and it wasn't easy. Back then, this was pre-internet, guys. So we had to go to conventions to find, things usually marked up because they were hard to find. Because Brent Spiner had put out an album called Old Yellow Eyes is Back. And he's doing covers of old standards. And, the title is a reference to Old Blue Eyes, right? To Frank Sinatra. He's saying Old Yellow Eyes is back because he plays Data. So in the picture, he's basically wearing a fedora just like this. He's dressed exactly like I am, but it's black and white picture, and his eyes are yellow like Data, right?
And his background people were all of his Star Trek.
Yeah, he got Jonathan Frakes and Patrick Stewart and whatnot.
Yeah.
And of course, what's his name? Michael Dorn. Michael Dorn is a great bass. He's actually got a good singing voice too. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't know it from the Klingon opera that he sings, but he really was good. It's a great album, but it's my kind of music. It's those standards. It's the Frank Sinatra and that kind of stuff, which I honestly believe is what indirectly led then to in what was the Star Trek movie, the last one where Riker gets married?
Nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis, where he sings Blue Skies. I don't remember if that was on that album, but it should have been. It was that kind of a song. Evelyn has that album too. But like I said, by the time Netter got it, she had it I think she had it on cassette.
I had it on cassette. I thought I bought the DVD, or CD, but I can't find it.
You can't find the CD now? Well, I remember we had a hard time getting the CD at the time because after it went out of print, the only place you can get it was at conventions where dealers had glommed, all the leftover copies, and they were selling them at a premium, right? Nowadays, you can find it on eBay.
Here's my cassette.
Yeah. Here's the cassette. Here's the camera. Tilt that so you. Yeah. Brent Spiner, Old Yellow Eyes is back. You can't probably see it, but his eyes are yellow in that picture. But yeah. So.
Yeah, there's some really good songs on there.
But
he's got a really good singing voice.
It's kind of dim light in here, so I can't read what songs are on here. But anyway,
me to do it.
I mean, if you can, I can't read what's on there, but
Time After Time. The Very Thought of You. More Than You Know. Wait, what's that one? Tootsie.
Tootsie, goodbye.
Embraceable You. It's a
Sweet.
Sin to Tell a Lie.
Yeah.
That one, Patrick Stewart starts doing a speaking part, and it sounds so ridiculous.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of William Shatner-esque.
Yeah.
But I think he intended it to be tongue-in-cheek humorous.
Long, Long Time. Carolina in the Morning. Marie.
Oh, his rendition of Marie is just beautiful.
Yeah. Zing with the Strings of My Heart. When I Fall in Love. And Good Night, Sweetheart.
Fall in love. It will be forever. Yeah, it's a good album. It's a really good album. Yeah, and everybody knows I have not watched. I think I watched an episode or two of Picard's first season, and I stopped. And I'm hearing that the YouTubers that I follow, I'm seeing their videos pop up reviewing it, and they're saying season 3. I guess it must be okay, but
has it started?
Apparently,
oh,
and a lot of people are saying it's too little, too late. That's the premise that they're going with. So I figure they're probably getting some things on right. I mean, I saw what Worf looked like. He looks like an older version of Worf. He doesn't look like a Klingon. So, I mean, right there, they're backpedaling. But I agree, it's too little, too late. The previous 2 seasons told me that either this does not take place in the same universe as the Next Generation that I loved, or they're just bastardizing it, and I still don't want to watch it, right? You don't want to see your mother get violated, right? And that's what it's like watching some of these shows. So
I think that's what a lot of fans feel like at this point. I think people are just exhausted because I've noticed that there's been a trajectory of like even the fantasy series. You had Rings of Power, right?
Oh yeah,
not received well. Willow, I think, was received worse. Now you have a Witcher, I think, origin series on.
Yeah, and
they're even worse than those two. It's like they keep
I'll tell
getting
you
worse.
what.
It's
Andre over at Midnight's Edge, who's Scandinavian, he made an excellent point. And Call Me Chato did a video about this. And it's an excellent point. He says, you have to understand that The Witcher, it's a book, it's video games, it's, all this media. But the writer based all the lore on Polish folklore.
Yes.
And there isn't a Polish person in the show.
Wow.
Because their idea of inclusion and diversity is what they also call cultural appropriation.
I think people also tend to forget that Poland, maybe ethnically what we would call Caucasian, right? They have been an oppressed people for a long time. They got hit by a certain German group and a certain Russian group right after. They were.
That's all they see.
They were oppressed. Let's be honest here. They were an oppressed people, the Polish. So it's. I think they've come. I mean, I'm not saying they are now, and I hope they're doing well for themselves. But it's yeah.
Well, and the fact is they're not, and the numbers keep coming out, and the numbers don't lie. It's get woke, go broke isn't just a cool adage because it rhymes. It proves to be true time and time and time again. And what's funny is it's not about progressivism, right? Because everyone that wants to say, well, Star Trek was always woke. No, it was always progressive, and we enjoyed it. Look at the Orville. The Orville is very progressive. And everyone who is on the left and everyone who is on the right that watches that show, they both like it, right? Because when they deal with topical stories, they deal with them in such a way that both sides look at it and go, oh. They agree with someone in the show. They disagree with someone in the show. But they start thinking towards somewhere in the middle. That's what Star Trek always was. That's what the Orville is now. That is not what Star Trek is now. Star Trek is preach. This is what you will think. This is not, this is the problem and this is both sides. And it's not as easy as that. Again, we come back to that, right? Like I was talking about the politics, right? You want to choose between Russia and Ukraine. Russia bad, Ukraine good. That's not the way the real world works. Both sides are bad, okay? And both sides have their own personal interests that you can kind of understand why, right? And then you have to question, why are we getting involved in what's essentially the equivalent of a civil war, right? Right? If during the Civil War, we can talk about the fighting between the North and the South, but you also got to talk about all the countries that got involved with helping the South and helping the North because they had political interest in who won. Proxy wars, right? Yeah. It's happened throughout history. That's what's happening in Ukraine right now. You think that our countries, our political leaders actually give a flying fig about the Ukraine? No. It's an opportunity for them to protect their investments over there and funnel some money to their friends in the military-industrial complex.
Regardless, I think of how that turns out over there, it's still going to be bad for Ukraine, even if they win, because I think it's not going to be aftermath.
I mean, they might win, but they're not going to win. It's not going to happen.
Oh, thank you, deleted scenes. 46 from 250. I'm steadily getting subs. I mean, I gotta do more for the channel though. But yeah, it's been chaotic lately. This was the
United States ever had proxy wars. It's a new creation. You're crazy, you ass. I know he's joking. I know he's full of shit, and he's saying that intentionally. So let's do this. This is what I intended to do before. Let me. You know what? I don't even have YouTube open for some reason. I don't need it. Aged Boomer replied, Troy Pacelli. Yes. That was you on the video. And would you look at this? I got a new subscriber today.
Who?
Matanui. Matanui, see, you weren't subscribed. And you just subscribed.
I'm going to tell you, sometimes what happens is you can watch a video and you think you're subscribed to the channel and realize, oh no, this person's video just keeps showing up my feed and I thought I was subscribed. That can happen. So
okay, honestly, so despite everything I said, that's the other thing.
So if you like someone and you're watching the videos, make sure you're subscribed because you may not.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You think you're subscribed and they keep showing up in your feed, so you assume you're subscribed and you've hit the notification bell, and sure enough, you haven't. And it's like, and you hear all these YouTubers always talking about this, right? They're saying, like 75% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. Actually, I don't know how they know that. I know that a lot of y'all know how to look at your statistics on YouTube, and I have not figured out how to understand any of that, but they do know it. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of channels that I watch on a regular basis, and they keep showing up in my feed because I watch them, but I'm not subscribed to them. And I don't know why. I mean, eventually after a while I go, you know what? I like this channel so much. I want to watch every single one of their videos. I'm going to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Mm-hmm. But, otherwise it's a crapshoot of what actually comes up. But let's take a look back. I'm going to take a look back at my videos for the year. And what I want to do is I'm going to go to my live streams. And I'm going to go back.
Favorite live stream.
Let's see. Going back.
It's one that I wasn't on, wasn't it?
Okay. Yeah, those were the best. No. Let's see. So I just want to look back at some of my guests that we've had. So I had Mexican.
You had a lot of good guests this year. Mexican
Iron Man is just so damn encouraging. He is awesome. We interviewed you a couple weeks ago along with meteorologist Katie Nicolau.
Yes.
As we talked about Hurricane Ian.
Hurricanes. Oh my god! And actually, I think on the weather, it made the #1 natural disaster this year. So, woohoo! Florida #1.
Aren't you pleased that you were in the news? Right.
#1 natural disaster. It was.
We had author T.J. Manrique decided to the day that his book was launching, he used our channel to do that. I super appreciate that, and looking forward to getting a copy of his book so I can. I'll do like a review of it, on the
It'll
channel.
Be cool. He's got some good books in there. He had the what is it, the zombie book. I like the title for that one. I forgot it was off the top of my head though. But
I'd have to go to his channel. Of course, one person that we had on a number of times this year was Deleted Scenes, one of our favorite Blue Wrenches. He's got a channel that you really should be subscribed to if you're not already.
Was he? Who was on with us for Mulholland Drive rewatch? Was that Deleted Scenes or was that?
It had to be Deleted Scenes. He's probably the first person I would think of to pull in on.
I know he was on for Fire Walk with Me. Mulholland Drive, huh?
That's a trippy movie, but I think I have a good grip on it. I think I understand it. Doesn't make it it's kind of like The Little Matchstick Girl. It's brutal. It's it's dark.
Sometime in the new year, we have to do Glenn Glary, Glenn Ross rewatch because I have a lot of things to say on that one.
I'm with you on that. Netter would be behind that too.
Yeah.
We had Joker Voice. Joker Voice that's a great channel. He does a great impression of Mark Hamill's Joker. But he's also just a lot of fun on social media, and he's got a good channel himself. Vagrancy Horror, another great channel. I wish he had more time to put out more content because his stories are so interesting. They really are.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Right. I mean, and I know that they're like part of a shared blended universe, but we need more to be able to start tying those things together. Probably, not to lessen any other guests that we had on the channel, because I love every single one that's been on. But I think the highlight was Retro Blasting. For me, getting Retro Blasting on the channel was like
such a fanboy.
And he came on so laid back and cool, and like just came to hang out, which is totally on brand for my channel, right? So it was like, man, and I don't know, that was kind of cool. I kind of really appreciated that. And I think that's Tim Hayes. Tell me if that's true or not. But isn't that when you subscribed to my channel? Was when I had Michael French on? I'm not sure, but I know you and I hang out, virtually hang out together in the Retro Blasting Patreon and whatnot, and we fought some social media battles there this year. Let me tell you, that's.
Now, see, I know who your bestest guest ever was.
Yep, celebrated my anniversary with my wife.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we did a questionnaire. I remember that. That
was pretty cool. Netter is awesome. Let me tell you, I've been talking to a lot of people lately about the past 3 years and the lockdowns and the loss of going to conventions and the loss of getting together with people and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? The people I really want to stay connected with, I've stayed connected with online, and I'm with my wife 24/7. We both work from home. If that alone, I'm blessed. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that were locked down with their spouses and ended up getting divorced and stuff, but I'm locked in with my best friend. I said it when we went into 2020. I said, so I get to spend weeks on end with my wife? Yes, please sign me up for that. It's stretched into 3 years, and I'm still good with it.
Instead of going to some office where you get to talk to people who, well, actually, I'm not. Well, to be fair, that would have been your old job anyway. So
And Netter and I have worked together at different jobs too. So there was something in that. Did someone mention my name?
Hi, Joker
Yeah.
Voice.
He's not like Candyman. You just say Joker Voice once and he shows up. That's nice. I like
Joker
that.
Voice.
Better than Beetlejuice.
And deleted scenes is dropping. Oh, I wasn't thinking deleted scenes. I should have taken it a little slower. You're there dropping all the links because I'm mentioning everybody. But I thank you so much for that.
Our favorite Blue Runch.
Yep. We had Matthew Flynn on, who I think is criminally undersubscribed.
Yeah.
He has very niche interests, but if you're into things like Transformers and Ben 10 and some of those things, yeah, he's definitely worth a follow. Brandon, the anime guy, got me one of my very rare strikes. Thank you very much, Brandon, because he was sharing some anime clips. And
didn't Janet from Another Planet got you into trouble too? Remember that?
Janet from Another Planet, I had to take down the whole stream because because I shared the Interplanet Janet, and whoever it is that owns
Disney.
School Out
Disney
Front.
owns it. Disney owns it. Disney got you.
I'll tell you what. If you enjoy streaming, what do you call it? Like game streaming. We had about 2 months ago, we had Geek Talk. He's got a great stream over on Twitch. And, he brings them over here on YouTube. Definitely worth it. If you like this show and you like this brand and you like seeing me get drunk throughout the stream, you might enjoy Arwen Avalon. She was on a couple months back. That was a lot of fun.
The one thing to keep in mind is that all of the guests that Troy has on his channel are different. They all have different interests. They have different niches. And you can learn so much from each of them. That's why I love it when he's got guests on, because it's like, oh, I didn't know they did that. Like, I may have heard the name, but I didn't really know what they did. And then I'll have them on. They'll start talking about, well, tell us about your channel. What do you do? And how'd you get started? And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I make sure I'm subscribed to him if I wasn't already.
Yeah, I think if I don't go through these quickly, I'm not gonna get through them. So let's see who else. We had Andy Masterson, who does this really incredible. He does these sculptures of different characters' heads for 6-inch action figures. He's incredibly talented.
Totally amazing.
Yeah, and then he does dioramas with them and stuff, and he does customs for different YouTubers. So he's done like a sculpted head of Doomcock, and he did the costume and stuff, put it on, and then he sent it to Doomcock. So Doomcock has a.
Didn't he also do one of Michael?
That I don't know. I don't know for sure. We got the Noob Reviews. Who's a young girl who is getting into older comic books and kind of reading them voraciously. And, us older, comic fans get to kind of live vicariously through her and relive, the joy that we had of those 80s and 90s comics that she's starting to read, sometimes older. Wakasashi's Tea House, who... a Brit who lives in Japan who, had to come on at a very, very late hour or early hour, depending on how you look at it, in order to join us. Pacific 414, who was just in the stream a little while ago. We were talking with Fat Steven Seagal, Justice Fat Steven, whatever he's calling himself this week. He has a great streaming channel, too, where he does... almost daily streams of the gaming that he does. That was a lot of fun. Fanzine, right? I'm glad that there was a channel out there that picked up the crusade for owning physical media, because for as many times as I've made that a catchphrase on this channel, that's what his channel is all about. Is the physical media, own physical media. They can't ever take it away from you. And when they put out newer and better, physical media, go for it, because it's going to have some extras and whatnot.
Trust in this. Mine is trust in the streaming services. That's my motto. Okay.
I know you are. I know you are. At least I hope you are. So we were talking about people that have served our country. We did a watch party of Hacksaw Ridge with Vaishnavi, who also does online streaming gaming stuff on Twitch. And then he, brings the videos over here to YouTube. And he's a vet who his whole channel is about raising funds to help out veterans that have served and that kind of struggle reintegrating. And let's face it,
a little bit of help.
Yeah, they really deserve more than thank you for your service. Maybe spend a few bucks, maybe spend some time, giving them what they really need, more than thanks. About 5 months ago, 6 months. Actually, we got to go a little further back than 6 months ago. I had another channel do a video specifically about this channel, and that was Ryan Roger Athe.
Oh yeah,
who did Rising Stars video about me, and so I was like, well, I got to get you on, and we gotta chit chat on my channel, and so
he's a little room.
Yep. And he's got a great channel. He and I share a philosophy about helping other YouTubers build their channels, and kind of like PJ over at Orville Nation, whose channel I've been on a couple of times. His whole motto is we grow together, right?
Like your co-host every week. Agent Boomer's been on your show.
Every week, Agent Boomer's on my channel. Every week, I'm on his channel.
Except when there's a hurricane and I lose, and the internet gets lost throughout the county. But anyway.
Right. Well, and that's true. So Netter and I picked up the slack, and we did the Geeky Geezers during the time that you were unavailable.
Geeky Geezer and Geeky Geezette, right?
Geeky Geezer and Geeky Geezette, exactly. I mentioned Stephen Otten. He's been on a bunch of streams this year. And Big Al Presents has been here too. And you can catch me every other week over on his channel on Saturday nights. Adega Outlaw, we were talking about the books that he's written and so forth. He's got a number of sci-fi and fantasy novels out as well. Like I said, Pops on Pop Culture.
You've been on his stream too, haven't you?
I've been on his. He's been on mine. Absolutely. Let's see. Who else? Actually had a lot of great rewatches. I'm kind of hoping that we get a second season of Outer Range. I'll have deleted scenes on before then, but I
think it's been okay, and I'll look that up. Let me see if Outer Range is coming back.
Yeah, let me know about that. Mikey the Mexican Iron Man.
Didn't you also have Polly and Latino Slant, or is that just me?
No, you did for the rewatch of Goodfellas.
Oh, right.
Oh, did I? There we go. So we had Latino Slant. I've been on his channel. He's been on mine. That's been a lot of fun. And I think that takes us back to...
Did you have Trey Maxwell?
Trey has not been on my channel, no. He's been in the chat many times.
He's been on the channel, just not this past year, but he's been on, I think he's been on once or twice, hasn't he?
I sent him a link for like my birthday or something like that. He came on to wish me happy birthday, but that was about it. But speaking of which, that's what's coming up next week. I'll be doing another birthday bash. I've come to the conclusion that up to the age of 50, you celebrate your birthday just because it's a reason to party and have fun. From 50 on, the reason you have a birthday is to celebrate you made it another year, and it beats the alternative.
It is going to have a season 2, Outer Range. They did recently announce it.
I thought you were going to talk about Troy. He's having a season 2.
And Deleted Scenes dropped the link specifically to the review that we did of Out of Range. Tim Hayes was like, "Yep, Michael French of Retro Blasting. Yep, that's kind of. I mean, I had seen Tim Hayes on around the community and whatnot, but I think that's when he started following me. I saw him as a regular and whatnot ever since that Retro Blasting. And Tim, can you corroborate this for me? Michael said he'd be back in 2023, so that's something I'm looking forward to in 2023, getting him back on. Just because he's awesome, he really is. But I want to get both Michael and Melinda, because I really feel like Michael and Melinda. Deleted Scenes introduced me to you, Troy. Okay, I didn't realize that. Yeah, but see, we've got this really tight knit group where we all kind of overlap and whatnot. So it's kind of easy to blur the lines of where it starts. But good. It's good someone keeps the history in mind and whatnot. But I want to get both Michael and Melinda on, because I feel like what little I know about them as a couple is so parallel and so similar to me and Nanette, right? We both have similar and related geeky type interests, but there's also some differences that we kind of, we learn from each other on, and I mean, Nanette and I have been married for over 30 years now, so we've kind of enriched each other, I like to think. But yeah, see, well, wait a minute. Yes, Michael French will be back, and I'll probably have to brand it that way, right? Like Michael French strikes back or something like that. I don't know. It's going to have to be something like that. But I did see you on Michael's Patreon, but I didn't know who you were until after Michael and Deleted Scenes were on your live streams. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. And here's the thing about Patreon, right? Patreon is it's a community, just like YouTube, just like Twitter, just like whatever, but it's a paid one, right? So you're paying to be there. And so one would think that if you're paying to be part of that community, you're going to be on your best behavior. You're not there to be a troll. But unfortunately, we've come to find out over on Michael's Patreon that occasionally the trolls seep in and they try to pull their trollish ways in the Patreon.
What gets me is they pay to be a troll.
I know. Well, I mean, if you take Robert Barnes, he's like, as long as you're paying, you can say whatever you want, and I'll have to read it because you're paying. But Michael's kind of like me. I have no friggin' time for that bullshit. It's like you're being an ass. Please go away. I don't want your money. Just go. I mean, I don't know, but I guess what it is, what it comes down to is Michael and I see in Michael, I'm pretty sure he's significantly younger than I am, but he's kind of like me, but younger, so I really feel simpatico with him, and for Deleted Scenes, he's still dropping the links as quickly as he can. Man, I super appreciate you.
He's going to get carpal tunnel.
I know, he's like typing really fast. I'm glad he can copy and paste. He doesn't have to type out https://youtube.benjvs, all that bullshit. And Skipper Kenner, I'm right here. Skipper Kenner's in my peer group, and we've been through the same kind of bullshit. He's just got a much more positive attitude than I do about a bunch of things. He finds the humor in everything. He's got
to be one of the happiest people I know.
Yeah, he knows a way to make a joke out of just everything, and I try to emulate that. There's things about Skipper Kenner that throughout the years I've tried to be like him, but my fuse ends up burning out, and I just go, fuck it all. But kind of like what's that Disney movie? Fuck it all, don't give a shit anymore. I don't think that's exactly how it went in the Disney film, though.
That should be a Disney film.
It should be. I don't know.
That would be
the way
Quentin
Disney's
Tarantino.
going, it might end up being. Michael is a year younger than me. He's really smart, but he can get slightly more immature than me. Yeah, sounds like me too. But he seems to be more shy than me in some ways. Man, I wouldn't have thought shy, but
Trey!
I could kind of see that.
Happy New
See,
Year,
we were
sweetie.
just talking about you. It's like everybody that I mention is showing up to say hi. I was talking about you, and I was doing the year in review here, Trey, and we were talking about all the guests that we've had on the channel, and
Still need to get you on,
and
bud.
Boomer said, "Have you had Trey from Max World Entertainment?" I'm like, I don't think so. I think I've had him in the chat many times, and we've talked about him many times, but don't think we've had you on as a guest. Do you think you might ever be available on a Friday night to come by and join the chat and be a guest and talk about your channel and talk about Star Trek and talk about YouTubing? I think that'd be kind of cool.
Have you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure it's a psychological disorder, but thanks. No, you're right. You have plenty of psychological disorders, Skipper Kenner. That's absolutely true. Okay, what I'll do, Trey, is I'll drop you a PM or something, or an email or something. We'll work something out in the new year. So there's another plan for 2023 is to get Max World Entertainment on and talk about his channel and get every single one of my 500 plus subscribers to subscribe to him, if you aren't already, which you should be because we talk about him enough here.
I'm already subscribed.
Absolutely. We're members of the channel.
That's true.
Eternal optimism. So long as you don't dig up the bodies you've buried, you should be good. Yes, absolutely. That's kind of how it works. Michael is even more Mr. Modesty than me. He really is down to earth, isn't he? I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I go fanboy on him. He's like, dude, 100,000 subscribers. What's that? And I'm like, 500. I mean, he'll keep his shirt on more than me. Okay. Yes, he does. I don't think I've ever seen Michael without a shirt. So, in that sense, he's more shy than me, but I don't always try to get all macho. Yeah, I dig it. It's kind of you. And he says, oops, and he says he loves us. And that is very enduring. It's very it's hard not to like somebody who says they love you and means it,
And that's just family.
He's awesome people.
All y'all are our family.
Yeah.
Whether you like
this
it or
is
not.
what we talk about when we say you guys are like family. I mean, it's like, I have more contact with you guys here in the chat, here on the channel, in the social medias than I have with my actual family. They all move.
And that's just it. It's like if one of us in the community has a need, everyone steps up to help out with that need. And that's just so amazing to me. I mean, You really don't know me from Adam, but if I said, I know we had an issue with something and we needed help, I know that you guys would reach out to us and say, how can we help?
Yeah. And, the fact is, I know you, Netter, and I think you're more like Eve than Adam. Just saying. And I'm glad. But, wow, deleted scenes is not just dropping links to people's channels, but specifically to the videos from throughout the year. Man, I super appreciate that. So it's been a good year. It's been a great year. I think if nothing else, I've enjoyed getting to know a bunch of other YouTubers. It's like I've told you guys, I of course I want to help other YouTubers, but they're the YouTubers that I enjoy. And I figure if you enjoy my content, you and I probably enjoy a lot of the same stuff. So you'd probably like the same YouTubers I watch. So check out their content and you can thank me later because I know you will. But yeah, so that's been the year here. Gosh, let's talk a little bit about Geeky Geezers.
What?
Geeky Geeky Geezers has
Geeky
been
Geezers, the other show that we're
the
on.
other show that I spend. I spend as much time on Geeky Geezers as I do over here. Actually, I probably spend more
What are
time.
we talking about? The year in news?
I spend more time talking about Geeky Geezers and helping to put articles together for that, putting notes together, doing the thumbnail. I do more work on Geeky Geezers than I do on this show.
Oh my goodness, Troy, you do too much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's fun. I enjoy it. Yeah, give me a 100% raise next year. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, he's like, yeah, fine, you got it. 2 times 0 is 0. Okay,
Listen.
you got it. If it'll encourage you.
Tell you, man, when we hit the big time, when I get that cool 50 cents, 25 of that is yours. I'm telling you.
There you go.
But anyway, actually, no, I have a rental fee to pay to Ned or two for lending out her husband. That's right. I'm sorry.
Well, there's that too.
What did I want to?
She's like, please take him off my hands. Any break I get is probably.
You often say with the hurricane, what have you learned? What have you learned this past year from all the news we've covered on Geeky Geezers? What have you learned, huh?
People
What have we learned?
Dying.
Yeah. I think sadly, I've learned that time is a constant march forward. There's no stopping it, and eventually we're all going to die.
But
that's what I learned. Hope everyone has a great 2023. That's the show. No.
But often we want to march backward to go back to better entertainment. That's why we do the good old days.
But my gosh.
Okay. As a spectator to Geeky Geezers, this is what I have learned. I learned there are a lot of really cool retro things from our childhood that, we still embrace. I learned that there are some stupid people out there that really should just keep their mouths shut and not think that they're a better actor or actress than somebody else or a better person than somebody else. Brie Larson.
Well, there's that, yeah.
And that too many good people have passed away.
Yeah. Well,
plus we got 2 fantastic hosts.
Oh, thank you.
That's sweet. But it's been no. Guys. I know we're because we're going to be doing a little bit different on Geeky Geezers this Sunday. Netter was alluding to, and I kind of was too, all the in remembrances. Just found out Barbara Walters died today.
Wow.
What? Just found out. Yep, Barbara Walters.
Okay. Interesting. Yep.
And I think about half the people listening and possibly half the people on the panel are probably thinking, oh, really? I thought she'd already died.
That or who? For the youngins.
Well, yeah, the youngins might not know who Barbara Wawa is, but...
yes, Baba Wawa.
She had that famous interview with Sean Connery.
She had a lot of famous interviews with a lot of famous people.
That's where he said, yes, sometimes you just got to slap a woman. It's not hysterical.
But this, I feel like, has been a rough year for the music industry. Jerry Lee Lewis,
yep.
Loretta Lynn,
yep.
Angelo Badalamenti,
Fleetwood Mac person,
right? Christine McVie, Olivia Newton-John. I mean,
Prince. Was that this year?
No. That was a couple years back. That one. And what month did Prince die in? He died in April, because sometimes it snows in April.
Irene Cara,
Naomi Judd, Irene Cara. Yep. Man, it's been a rough year. Yeah, Nichelle Nichols. I was specifically speaking about music, but Nichelle Nichols was a singer too. I think Star Trek fans know that. I think we tend to forget that. But
telling you though, yeah, a lot of people have died this year. It's not funny. It's yeah. And the trouble is, you know, you got to replace the old celebrities with the new ones, and we're not liking the new ones so much these days. Though there were actually there's some good new ones. I know Latino Slant has been he's been talking up Jenny Ortega. She was in the latest Scream movie, which I enjoyed. But
Yeah, yeah. But but then yeah, if you want to get into comedians, get into actors, we lost a lot of people that we grew up with this past year. And honestly, I hate to say this, folks, but it's gonna keep happening. You know, it's gonna keep happening, and that's just a reality of life. It's enjoy the people that are around you while you can. You know, honestly, oh my gosh, it really is. Everybody that I mentioned tonight is showing up. It's like, do you guys like all get like itchy ears when I mention you on the stream? You guys come on and say hi.
Hi, Dad, from another planet.
Yeah, we were just talking about.
Well, we were talking about dead people, but you weren't one of them.
Yeah, no, we were talking about all the people that we've had on. Yes, we do. Michael from Retroblasting. Okay, now I'm wondering, are you guys in the chats going and sending notes to Janet and sending notes to Michael and saying, "Hey, Troy's talking about you. You might want to come say hi." I don't know. It's the only explanation I have. I don't believe you guys are all psychic. You know, I think psychotic maybe. I mean, that would be on brand for this channel, but man, it's awesome to see y'all. We were talking about Janet. We were talking about how unfortunately I had to take down the stream because Disney fucking sucks and whatnot. So I'll have to have you on maybe next year, and we'll do another. And I just won't. I won't. Start out with Interplanet Janet on that one. And Michael, Tim Hayes was confirming he heard you say you'd be on. You'd come back on the channel in 2023. So I'll message you about that and get you back on. He said, "No, I'm listening to Asteroids Galaxy Tour and just tuned in for a way to unwind." Yeah, I mean, if anything, that's the channel is definitely a low key, relax, have a drink, and chill kind of thing. Yeah, you know that. But and honestly, speaking of unwind, I'd be interested to hear what you think of the. Is it appropriate to call it dramatic reading? The video I dropped today about Little Matchstick Girl, where I literally did a dramatic reading of Little Matchstick Girl. I think it's an appropriate New Year's story. If you've never heard the story of the Little Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen, you should check it out. It's a story you should know. I've already gotten some positive reviews on it. People saying they think I should do more voiceovers, so I think I will in the new year. But what you may not have heard, Michael, was I was saying not only do I need to get you back on the channel, I want to get you and Melinda on together because I really, really feel like you and Melinda and me and Netter have so much in common. Like I see you guys as like younger us's, just more successful with YouTube. But yeah. So anyway, I'll tell you, I must have made a real impact on Skipper Kenner. He hasn't made one like off joke about it or anything, which is not like him. He must have really enjoyed it. If you haven't watched his Little Matchstick Girl, you should. It was genuinely wonder fuel. I like that. Yeah, it was something I did. Was it last year for Christmas or the year before? I did a dramatic reading of the God's Juggler, which is another story which is kind of similar in theme, but I did not leave that listed because that is a copywritten story that's not in the public domain right now. So I figured I'd do it live and then I'd unlist it because it's not cool. But not a lot of people have heard that story. It's very look. It's not about the money though, right? I mean, it's about the reach. It's about the community. It's about all of that. I don't know. Whatever you ascribe to being successful, I mean, the joke I made earlier in the stream was, Michael French, 100,000 subscribers, me, 500 something. I mean, if you just go by those numbers, that's a success. I mean, let's face it. But really, it's not about the money. It's about, and those of you that jumped in a little bit later didn't hear me say this. I'm going to reiterate this. I don't watch TV anymore. People ask me, what do you watch, for entertainment? I'm like, at this point, pretty much YouTube. I'm watching retro blasting. I'm watching Toy Polloi. I'm watching Analog Toys. Midnight's
Still
Edge.
plays.
Gray still plays. Gray
Great.
still plays is funny. I mean, it's he plays these goofy ass games that I don't know where he finds them, but he plays them and edits the footage together, and it's
So I started calling his channel
Gray
Gray
Still
Still
Kills
Murders.
or Gray Still Murders.
Gray Still Kills.
Murder.
half of his
Gray Still
videos
dies.
half of his videos are playing the Sims and killing them in crazy random ways, and the other half is
No.
What is that game where you steal the cars?
Oh,
Grand Theft Auto?
Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, he does Grand Theft Auto, but he does these wall ride, slaloms.
some friends of his, or he'll ask people to make up challenges for him, and he'll pay them. So like, there's a $1 challenge, a $5 challenge, $10, $100, $1,000, and he will try to do these challenges and pay them because I created these boards. And a buddy of his does lots of these with his son.
Yeah.
And just makes these really crazy ones. So he dies a lot.
Michael at Retro Blasting says modern TV is the pits. That's an understatement. Yep. I'm hanging out on Last Call and Clobbering Times at night, working on videos during the day, occasionally watching a classic film. One thing that I didn't ask, and I won't ask you on camera, I just don't know. Are you full-time YouTube, or are you, do you have a day job? I mean, you do not have to answer that. And by all means, don't answer it, publicly. It's none of anybody's business. But I'll tell you, Netter and I both work day jobs. Well, Boomer too. And so if we're going to do any videos, it's after work. And
sometimes it's just coming home from work, like on Matchstick streams. I'm just.
Oh yeah. Well, the nice thing is it's his channel. He's the one that has to deal with the posting and the editing and the whatever he's got. We just got to jump on, hit the thing, and okay, we're ready to talk. But the amount of effort that goes into like Geeky Geezers on Sunday, and
or just recording a video to edit. See, now I love recording my videos. I hate editing them. So my New Year's resolution, I have Monday off. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I am going to force myself to edit my video that I did in January of this year with the remodel of my bathroom and kitchen, and finish it up. I've got like 3 segments left to edit. I'm going to force myself to do it so I can start posting those. And thank you, everyone, for your patience on that.
Okay. Again, I was not pushing you to share anything publicly you didn't want to share, but Michael said he's been full-time YouTube since August 2019, worked a day job along it from 2012 to 2019. The reason people don't realize I'm full-time is because I changed nothing on the channel when I did. Yeah, this is the thing about Michael's channel. He works hard. And I think the average viewer might not realize the effort that goes into a video, but like that dramatic reading that the Skipper Kenner is giving me so much credit for. He's like, that was a great read. And I said, really? That was good editing, because I read that like 25 times, and individual parts I read over and over and over again. And then I had to sit and edit to get it right. And then just today doing that, I figured out how to use my editing software when I pop my P's, how to kind of fix that in the editing so it's not quite as bad. There's a lot of time that goes into that. You could do YouTube as a full-time thing. You could spend all day recording the footage, and then you could spend the whole next day editing it, and for some of the stuff that Michael does, having to get all these toys out of bins and set them up and film them and then do his voiceover work and
constantly getting interrupted by Broken Vader.
Broken Vader's got to be a pain in the ass to work with, let me tell you. But that's why I say, I think he should try to reach out to Toy Polloi and get those arms fixed, maybe. But Michael French, he's a young guy, and he's got this incredible work ethic that you just don't see anymore, and I'm almost getting to the point where, I've got a bunch of things filmed, but I just don't get around to filming them because by the end of the workday, this 50-something-year-old man is like, fuck, I want to play some Star Trek Online and go to bed. It's just, damn.
Star Trek Online, you play that?
I do.
He does.
Once spent 2 days reading a script into a camera, then another 4 days laying down the basic timeline, then another 3 days shooting B-roll, then another day finishing. Here's the other thing too. Michael, is classically trained on this, production stuff. So his stuff is sharp. He knows what he's doing. He's got, industry level, skills. I'm freaking winging it. I'm just an old fart behind the equivalent of a camcorder. Yes, I agree. Man-child news is classic. I love that shit. Oh my gosh. And when I first saw that, I was like, I laughed so hard because that comes from the same inspiration that when I did the intro for Netter's Saturday Retro Cinema. That transatlantic accent and, the black and white and the newsreels. The newsreels from, the 30s and 40s.
Cinema.
I fear nothing at Matanui. Old fart. Did I say something about old fart? I'm an old fart. I'm 50. I don't want to do the math. How old am I, Netter? 51.
This is 2022. You were born in 71. What's 2 minus 1?
1. 50. I'm 51. I'm going to be 52 next week.
Yes.
52. Like a deck of cards. Yeah, I'm an old fart. I think
and he doesn't have a full deck either.
Other than Netter, I think I'm the oldest one here. Yeah, right. I think other than Netter, I'm the oldest one here. Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm looking down the stream, and yeah. Oh, that's right. Skipper Kenner is like a year or two older than I am, but he's still younger than Netter.
Evelyn.
Oh, that's right. Evelyn is.
I think
Evelyn is the elder here. That's absolutely true. We got to defer to Evelyn.
You have to respect her,
and I will not. Well, you got to respect her just because she's
age and wisdom.
It has not. You don't even need the age and the wisdom. Evelyn is just someone you need to respect. She doesn't demand respect. She's earned it. She really has.
Absolutely.
She's awesome people. David Pensack is older than I am. I would not have guessed that. I thought we were a young chappie. Well, I mean, I guess you're as young as you feel. But, yeah. Netter is, in quotes, old like effing Trielle is old. Let's be real. It's not even fair. I know. Okay. So when Netter and I were dating, right? Just before we got married, I met her mom. And she told me how old her mom was. And I was like, oh, you got some good genes. I'm doing well here, you know? Then I also figured before she gets her eyesight back and sees what I look like, I better get her to say I do. So, you know.
Yeah, it's like my mom looked like she was mid to upper 40s, well into her 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't start looking older until her mid 80s when, unfortunately, she got dementia. And then the dementia aged her. So by the time she passed away at 96, she looked like she was 120. I mean, she really aged very fast and very much.
And Michael, when I get you and Melinda on, I'm going to ask, although you are under no obligation to answer, but I'm going to ask for the how did you meet story. You know, I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear if it's anything like Netter and I. Well, most of the people on my channel already know the story. Netter and I met at a Star Trek convention, and she was dressed in a
nerd.
Yes, and she was dressed in next gen uniform with a black miniskirt, and I called her Captain Miniskirt. I did not have the nerve to talk to her the first time I saw her. I'm just glad she joined the Star Trek fan club that I was.
I had groupies.
She did have groupies. This was before we had a word for cosplay. She had people saying, "Can I get my picture taken with you?"
I had these two guys following me around different conventions. I actually saw them at several different conventions. And every time they would run up to me squealing, going, Captain Miniskirt, can I get my picture? Can I get my picture? I was like,
so
okay.
Michael says, Miley Cyrus looks older than Netter. I just saw her sitting next to Dolly Parton, and I'd 1,000% go for Dolly now over Miley, seeing that. Well, I've always been the, inner beauty over outer beauty, so I would have gone for Dolly anyway. Dolly is...
Oh, I love Dolly Parton.
Dolly is a beautiful person regardless of what she looks like. But I'll tell you something. I did not know this, and I wonder how many people in the chat know this. But when Dolly Parton appeared as a guest star on the Orville, they digitally de-aged her, because she was supposed to be like on a holodeck or whatever. So it was a holodeck representation of Dolly. And they were going for a younger version of Dolly. I didn't even realize. I did not even realize, because it was subtle, which is a smart way to go if you're going to go CG. But she looked exactly like the Dolly I expected her to look like.
Yeah, I mean,
Miley Cyrus, let's face it, Miley Cyrus is going to age very badly, because she has some habits that tend to be prematurely aging. Yeah, let's put it that way.
I just remember her from that MTV Music Award controversy years back.
I just got to say, Dolly Parton, there are not enough celebrities like her. She has class. She has gone out of her way to not talk about politics, to not talk about, anything controversial, any of her beliefs. And she's specifically said, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to sing. I'm here to act. I'm here to entertain. I'm not here to preach. Come on, that's class, and that's something we are sorely needing in the entertainment industry now. She is mature, and that has nothing to do with age. She is wise, and you got to respect that these days. You really do.
Because I am so tired of some what's that word you use? Celebritard?
Celebutards, yeah, exactly.
Giving me their political views. I don't care what your political views are. you're a celebrity. Your job is to act, to sing, to dance, whatever. But your job is not to push your political beliefs on me.
Yeah, and when it comes
your
to
religious beliefs or your sexuality beliefs or
and
whatever it is on me.
we were talking about this earlier. It's like, look, all of these things are so nuanced, and you have this snap judgment of right and wrong. It's like, you know what? You don't know half as much as you think you do. Okay, you are in no position. What was it? Who was the British guy from The Office? You know who
I can picture him.
That
Gervais.
Ricky Gervais, when he went off, and he's like, you do not have the moral authority, to preach to people. It's like, shut up and do your job, right? And do it well. I mean, just because he happens to be here, and I'm not talking behind his back, I'm going to use you as an example, Michael. You don't need to know Michael's political affiliations or what his religious, inclinations are. None of that stuff, right? He's got a channel that's about, it's about a lot of things. It's about toys, but it's about a lot of other
fun.
It's about fun fandom type things, right? He doesn't use it as a platform to preach to you because he knows better. No, you go there to find out about,
toys,
old toys, or, movies that we grew up with, and, a little bit of nostalgia type of stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, it's, I don't know, man. It's
and a pretty jazzy theme song.
My grandmother said this all the time, and I did not appreciate it until now. She used to say, you don't talk about politics and religion. And I didn't understand why, right? Well, in a family where y'all pretty much have the same politics, you pretty much have the same religion, talking about these things is probably a good thing, right? You build your understanding and knowledge, and you help each other out a little bit. But in mixed company, in polite society, keep your mouth shut about those things, right? I don't know.
Well, they used to call it, don't air your dirty laundry.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say there is a place for it, right? To disagree and argue, right? Especially over drinks in a pub, right? Some of the our country is predicated on a bunch of guys sitting around a pub talking politics over drinks. I mean, that's really that's what our founding fathers did, right? But we've lost the art of being able to disagree, still be friends, right?
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose.
But you said we've lost that.
I would say respect the disagreement, right? I mean, I have come to understand people in the social media that are willing to talk and debate and whatnot, that disagree with me, as long as they do it respectfully.
Oh, night, Skipper Kenner.
Oh, take care, buddy. Have a good evening. Didn't see that. A lot of chats happening. I can't keep up with them, especially with the fuzzy, rum-fueled head. But yeah, I mean, I grew up believing that the differences of the people that strengthen us, right? Having diverse friendships, seeing things from different points of view, people of different religions, political affiliations. We can debate, try to come to an understanding. If we can't come to an understanding, screw it. We'll talk about it some other time. Love you. Take care. Bye. And you end up learning something. I've mentioned this a couple times on the channel, but maybe not everyone realizes this, that isn't really keyed into me. when I was younger, like high school, I was Alex P. Keaton. I was a member of the Young Republicans. I was as far right as you could possibly go. I was a Reagan Republican, you know, a Nixonite.
Nixonite.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
Many
why
years
Nixon
later,
was still a
I
thing.
still consider myself a conservative, but maybe a little bit more libertarian, you know. And
You want to be
I
left
look back,
alone.
yeah, and I look
I would
back
see
at,
them as the leave me alone party.
yeah, and I look back at some of the things that I supported back then, and I say, boy, was I naive, right? When I look at the Gulf conflict, I go, okay, maybe I was a Reagan Republican, maybe not such a Bush Republican.
What
Just
about
saying.
NAFTA?
Oh fuck.
It's okay.
Look, I don't want to get too into it, but
Yeah, that's fine. We
but
don't
the
have to talk
fact
about it.
is, you know, there is religion, politics, and the Great Pumpkin are three things not to talk about. I learned that from watching Charlie Brown. Tim Hayes, that is good advice.
It shows a Great Pumpkin gets mentioned in the "You're Not Elected" episode, the election episode. I'm
I
not gonna
love
say
that.
how.
I
Oh,
love
that's
that.
a good one. That's the election day episode.
Yeah, that's a secondary one on. See, I've got a bunch of the Peanuts DVDs, and they've got like the main video, and then they've got like a secondary one that most people don't know. So I forget which one it's on. Yeah, yeah, I am pretty clean cut conservative, but don't be fooled. I talk more conservative than I really am. If you want to know the truth, I'm far more libertarian. Live and let live. You know, I don't care. You know, do what you want to do, but keep the government as small as possible. Greater freedom. You know, I don't care what you do, but I don't want to hear you preaching about what I do. You know, yeah. So I think I'm a lot more libertarian than I used to be, and I mean that with a little L, not the big L, because the institutionalized libertarians will never win a freaking federal election. They need to start running on the conservative ticket. Win if you can't win a primary, you can't win a general election. So figure your shit out already. And
Well,
we said the F word the same time Boomer mentioned NAFTA. Yeah. I didn't even notice I said the F word, but yeah, exactly.
can I ask you a question, Troy? What are you looking forward to most in the new year? Any movies or TV or something you're looking
I'm
forward
not looking forward to any movies. I'm not looking forward to any TV. No. Actually, I take that back. When is the next Ghostbusters coming out? I'm looking forward to that. Is that
it might
2023?
be next year. Let me find out. That would
It's
be
either
Firehouse.
2023 or 2024. I'm looking forward to that. We also got some word that a little bit more about the Ghostbusters animated series that they're working on. That's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Don't know if it's 2023 or not. David, I'm sorry, but I'll believe it when it fucking happens. Okay?
Whoa.
I have heard this too much over and over again. She's leaving this year. She's leaving this year. She's definitely leaving. She's definitely. Fuck that shit. She'll leave when she's leaving. You know? I mean.
Hey, December 2023. It'll be the holiday movie next Christmas time. So you'll have something to look forward to on Christmas next year.
There we go. There we go. Still operating under the functional title of Firehouse, but
Yes.
I'm sure that they'll be changing that. I didn't know about this. I'm looking forward to a new John Wick movie and the Nicolas Cage Western, The Old Way. I've been saying for a long time we need to bring back Westerns. So if that's happening, yeah, I'll look forward to that. Yeah. You know, it's funny you
Oh,
say that, Matanui.
wait.
You say you're tired of that rumor. The fact is, it's just a new rumor they keep recycling. It's
Can,
not the same rumor. They just keep.
can we go to deleted scenes? Wait a minute. Equalizer 3 is happening,
No kidding, really?
but there's an Equalizer TV series that has nothing to do with, which has Queen Latifah kicking butt while taking care of her young daughter.
And you know what?
It's
Yeah, okay,
not good.
I did
I've
not
seen the
realize.
Equalizer
I didn't
series.
realize Dune 2 was coming this year. I'm definitely looking forward to
Ah,
Dune 2. And Evelyn says that John Wick 4 opens on her birthday. I still haven't seen the first three.
what?
I still haven't seen the first three.
Ah,
I know his dog dies,
yeah,
and then
that's
he
part of it.
fucks some people up for killing his dog.
Yes.
That's what I was asking Troy. It's like,
How the
didn't
fuck
John
many
Wick
dogs does
2?
this guy
How many dogs does this guy have?
I
No,
know.
it's not for the sequels. Other stuff happens. Like everything starts spiraling from him losing it on that one thing. Do you understand? They're worth watching, especially if you like Keanu Reeves. And actually, Lawrence Fishburne shows up in the sequels, and I think he may play more pivotal role in part
Does
4.
he try to give him pills or something?
No, but you know what's funny? Even though the John Wick movies are not cyberpunk or science fiction, they feel more like Matrix sequels than the actual Matrix sequel we got. You know, it's
Well, you
got
know
Keanu with the
that
gunplay.
you know why they made that Matrix sequel?
No,
It was really just a rights issue. They just wanted to hold on to the rights. That's all it was. So they put
There-
out a bunch of bullshit for no other reason.
oh my word! There is an Equalizer 3 coming out
Sure, why not?
because there's also a TV series running. I thought that's. I'm not singing the praise of the TV show or anything. It's a mess, but
I just wish one of these franchises would just figure their shit out. And if you're going to have a TV series and a movie and whatever, get it all synced up, you know? Make it all
no.
integrated.
I don't want the next Equalizer to be synced up with the show.
Well, I don't know
It's
anything
all
about it.
it's I know I've never really mentioned it on the stream before. It's a I'll talk about it another time. Just I can't believe Queen. I can believe Queen Latifah can beat someone up unlike some ladies. Yeah, perhaps you're right there, Sir Torn. Anyway, we have to do a John Wick watch party. That might have to be a thing, Troy. I can't believe you've never seen John Wick.
I'm sorry, I haven't. I've heard so much about it, and so many people have recommended it to me. I just, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Unless it's on the same line as The Punisher, like that good, I don't want to see it. Because The
Kind of.
Punisher is good.
No, kind of, yeah. I would equate it to that type of thing, yeah. I'll put it to this way. I don't want to spoil too much of the movie for you. Let's just say he's in retirement and he used to be a assassin.
He used to be Black Ops, yeah.
Well, no, an assassin. Like he worked for an assassin organization.
He's got a certain set of skills.
Right, exactly.
No, but not like he wasn't like a good guy working. Well, to be fair, these days, I don't know if I'd say that, but he wasn't working for a government institution. He was a paid assassin. But I don't want to tell you too much when you go to watch the movie. He's someone who you should fear, but he was willing to let it all go and live a quiet life. You understand? I know that sounds cliched. It's not. You have to see it. It's done with serious style. I don't know. I think they're worth seeing. Actually, Nobody came out this year, didn't it? That was from the guys that made John Wick. It was had the
What was it called?
Nobody.
Never heard of it.
Hold on. Who was in it? I hate it when I forget names. Every single time. 2021 film. So that wasn't this year. That was last year. So 2022 still sucks. Nobody was a 2021 was a 2021 film. It had Bob Odenkirk as the main character in it. And interestingly enough, Christopher Lloyd's in it too. Do you like Christopher Lloyd?
I do like Christopher Lloyd.
You'll like him in this. I'm not going to say anything else if you decide to watch Nobody, but this was worth checking out. It's a fun little movie, Nobody. Yeah, it's
I just noticed that Retro Blasting just dropped a video, so I'm dropping the link to it because watch it. Damn it! You're a fan of mine. You should be a fan of his too.
But to quote the Lisa, I am looking forward to Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning Part 1, basically.
I'm going to have to watch the first 6 in order to watch that one. Otherwise, I'll be completely lost.
Deleted scenes, as I thought you reviewed it. Reviewed what, John Wick?
I did not review John Wick. I have never seen it.
No.
I did say I would watch it eventually. It is on my to-do list.
You're 3 behind already, and there's a 4th one coming up.
I'm sure.
I'm trying to think, though. John Wick.
Yes, I would have. Tim says, yes, I would have watched it by now. But you've live streamed. You're live streaming.
See? I'm telling you, though.
Nobody is a fun one. Okay.
Yeah, I'd check it out. You'll like Christopher Lloyd in it. That's all I got to say. He has his moments. I don't know. I watched Bullet Train. That was all right. Did you see that one?
I have not, but I saw a great video that basically sums it up and described it as like fan theory type thing. Sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, that's funny. I need to watch it again to see if that pans out. I'm wondering about that. Oh, it's.
I think you might have to see the video that I'm referring to.
So weird. It's such a weird movie. It's just but it was interesting. It was probably better than anything else. Well, no, Maverick was good, but like we had a. What did you like over the summer? You liked the Minions movie, didn't you?
I did like the Minions, but then again, Netter is a big fan of those.
Yeah.
So we literally have gotten every DVD for all of those. So,
there's the Super Mario Brothers movie. I might be looking forward to that. We'll see. Long-time Nintendo fans. So we'll
Unfortunately, I tend to not get my hopes up about any of these things. I wait until all of you all see it. My favorite YouTubers review it, and then I decide whether or not I'm going to go see this shit. Because otherwise I'm going to be wasting my money. That's what I'm realizing. I lost my opportunity to watch movies that I was speculating on the cheap when the local drive-in closed up. Because we used to go, Netter and I, we would go almost every weekend. And we'd get a double feature of whatever the new film was, usually the big Marvel, release, and some other movie. Mm-hmm. And movies that we wouldn't have seen otherwise, It was like buy one, get one free type of movie,
Cool.
But can't do that now, So it's like, if I'm going to go to the movie and I'm going to spend movie prices, I want to know I'm going to like it before I go. None of this, well, you got to see the movie to see if you're going to like the movie. Bullshit. That's what previews are for. If you don't sell me with the preview, then screw you. You're not getting my money.
Megan looks interesting.
Who?
We've seen the trailer for Megan.
Oh, is that Megan with a 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It?
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry, that movie might be coming close to reality.
That's
freaked me out.
Crap. I'm just like, oh God, no. Oh God, no.
Have one of those in your house, huh?
No.
Talking with the fake inflections, the fake emotional inflections, like Alexa does and stuff.
I don't know though.
Like
I'm starting to feel like there's people like that in this world now. Seriously, it's like people don't know how to human anymore.
I know. Well, that's what the robots will be for, to act more human than human, right? Now we're getting into Blade Runner territory, right? So this is.
So let's talk a little bit about Blade Runner, because that's another memory from 2022.
Yeah, we had a Blade Runner. We had a couple Blade Runner rewatches.
You and I are pretty simpatico on most things, but we disagree occasionally, and I think we disagreed.
Final Cut better.
Oh, I wasn't even going there. I wasn't.
Where were you going there? Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Is that?
I was specifically talking about the sequel.
Yeah.
We were taught the thing we disagreed about with the sequel was whether or not Joy was sentient or not.
No.
You still insist no.
Yes.
I was thinking about this literally just today, not like in preparation for for tonight's stream or anything. It's just, well, you talk to your home AI, and of course you think about Joy, and you're like, no. And here's something I realized about the sequel that I don't think we talked about, and that's that. Was it Ryan Gosling who was the main actor?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling was played K in that. Yes, K was his name.
Okay, so whereas Harrison Ford's character, they keep it ambiguous of whether or not he was a replicant.
Yes.
Okay. And because they never answer that question in the sequel, it's meant to remain ambiguous. It's meant to be up to you. You decide. Right. There is no ambiguity when it comes to Ryan Gosling's character.
Yes.
Right? He is a replicant.
Yes.
There is no doubt about that. That's part of the story. He has this relationship with his home AI.
Yes.
Right? Named Joy. And it seems like she is every bit as sentient as he is.
Yes.
But you insist that's not true because there's other Joys out there.
I insist it's not true based on stuff you see on the rewatch. He goes to I guess throw all the damaged Joy device over the thing, and then you see the Joy hologram start talking to us. You look like a good Joe, and it's like that's the name that Joy gave him. It's like you're a real boy, and a real boy needs a name, and it's Joe. And I know you'd probably argue, well, that's maybe that's some residual program, but she was sincere about it. I think every response she had was canned. I think that this is an example. I think he gets angry when he calls her Joy. He's like, "Shut up, don't talk."
And again, I think it's far more nuanced than you are giving it credit for. Because you need to start then looking at yourself.
Yeah.
And say, how many of the things that you say are canned things from your childhood? Or things that you've heard other people say? Does that mean you're not sentient? See?
I don't know.
Here's the other thing. Is she less sentient than Ryan Gosling's character, who we know is a replicant? We know he's a replicant.
Here's the thing with Gosling's character in that movie. These replicants, this new breed of replicant, they're created to obey orders. Mm-hmm. They don't have any free will, blah, blah. We learned that is not the case. And he makes his own decisions by the end of the movie. He doesn't even go with the other replicants of what they want him to do. He makes his own decision. He says, I'm going to stop this old man from being tortured to death and try and reunite him with his daughter. And he ends up sacrificing his own life in the process. That's what he does, okay? And I think that when I saw
How is that any different than what Joy does?
Because Joy is an AI program with canned responses.
I'm sorry! How is that any different from you, who are programmed by a lifetime of experience?
Look, okay, is it possible maybe over time, Joy? I don't know. I got the impression that this is a fantasy that Kay has created for himself, and he wants to pretend he has an actual girlfriend in this AI thing. Because he's a replicant that's despised even by other replicants. Since he's a replicant Blade Runner that kills other replicants, no one likes him. Okay? Humans don't like him.
Here's the other problem with the whole logic, right? You know that Joy is his house AI, and then he goes out and he sees the hologram. So there's another one. Whoop-de-doo. Real human beings have twins sometimes. Does that make them any less human?
Again,
they are completely separate people that happen to look exactly alike, and they start out exactly the same, but they grow completely differently. Joy was unique from all the other ones that look just like her. That's where I said this too when we were talking about the first one. I said that was a very missed opportunity because the Sean Young character and the Daryl Hannah character in the book were the same model of replicant.
That's
so they should have been played by the same actress. And if they had been, would have added a whole different element to the story. You know?
What? We'll never find out because they're not going to be able to cast Andy de Armas in that Blade Runner series probably because It's going to be a trash fire most likely. But look, my impression is that this is just it's a wish fulfillment thing, like how sometimes if you're a lonely guy, you're going to project onto this woman that she's the love of your life, and she's all these things, and that's
But
not
we
really the
do that
case.
with
That's
real
not
people. That doesn't make them any less sentient.
well, that's true. I'm just saying, I
And
don't know, man.
I'll tell you what, being a married man, I would have no problem laying down my life for that woman. Just saying, you make these choices. Is that any different than what Joy did? Is that any different than
Wait,
what
what does Joy do?
she
I know
literally
she bangs on the door to wake him up when the garbage pickers are after him. That was a good scene, but
she think about how she dies. She's literally sacrificing herself for him.
no, I thought she just died because she was being dumb, and then Love comes along, and Love is basically saying, "Glad you enjoyed our product," because she knows it's a product. I don't know. Like I said, you and I are seeing this differently.
Yep. Real
I'll
quick, I
think
want to say
about it,
hi
though.
to
Okay.
Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
Welcome for being here. So glad you stopped in. That meant to say that I'm about to drive, so I'll be listening until I can be back and check. Fair enough. Chat. That's fair enough. No, yeah, it's always awesome when you can stop by. We are probably going to be wrapping this up soon. We've kind of already shot past the 2 hour mark, but we kind of did a year in review here. We talked about some of the awesome guests that we've had on this year. We talked a little bit of politics, which I didn't really intend to get into, but we did. Brought up some old arguments that me and Boomer have had, but those are few and far between, so it's probably not a bad idea to bring those up every now and again, just so we know that we're not joined at the brain, right? And 2022 is the third year after the psychoticness of the downfall of Western civilization, and we are kind of predicting more of the same in 2023. But yeah, so
but yeah, this Sunday we're going to talk about. We're going to have some geezers join us. I'm going to talk about my winner of the year, loser of the year, and prediction of something that'll happen in the new year. And Troy will do the same. You'll have a winner and a loser and a prediction. A winner and loser can be anything. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be a person. It could be
a show,
a show, a movie, or a company, or something. Just think about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've got some ideas. I may actually come up with a couple, just in case you do come up with the same one.
I have a couple. I'm already thinking of. I already thought of a second loser while I was thinking of my first one. But yeah.
No, absolutely.
But maybe I won't bring up the second one because I don't like to kick someone while they're down. But yeah. Tomorrow, though, what are you having?
Well, tomorrow, I'm pretty sure it's Big Al Presents. Let me see what he should have the stream up already live. I know that he sent it to me. Yeah, When Harry Met Sally, New Year's Eve rewatch. I think that makes perfect sense. When Harry Met Sally, so Netter and myself will be on with Big Al over on Big Al Presents. You know what? As long as I'm on the page, I guess I could very easily drop the stream for you guys so that you know where to join us tomorrow. Assuming that my internet works with me, I will be hosting the movie so you can watch along with us. Yeah. So that's tomorrow, and then Geeky Geezers on Deleted Scenes got it too. Thanks, buddy. Tuesday? No, wait a minute. Monday. Do we have a Batman?
Oh, I believe so. Hopefully Birdman's doing all right. He was having some car trouble, but I think he made it home all right.
Good.
I'm trying to think. Nothing Monday. He may have a Batman show Monday. I'm not sure, but on Tuesday we have the second discussion of season 2 of Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh, I better watch that this week.
Oh, if you have time, sorry. Let him know if you can't. Maybe you could
I've just
postpone
been
it.
so
I don't
busy.
know.
It's
Okay,
like
I
this
know
was it was killer for him to do this to us during the holiday season.
I know. Well, tell me another week if you need another week. Well, you can think about it. All right.
No.
All right. All right.
I'll get it figured out. I'll
Okay.
watch the second season of Spectacular Spider-Man. Join us over on Mr. Max's channel on Tuesday, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that. Wednesday on Soundtracks with Birdman.
I don't think we have a stream this week, but we may. It may be an impromptu thing. I have to talk to him. So yeah, see what he's up to.
And that brings us back to Friday, where I will
the big B day.
Yeah, it's my birthday, so we'll have a birthday stream. I'll probably do what I usually do and make the StreamYard link available to you all. If you guys want to come in and wish me a happy birthday, you can do that. As always, in the description below, there's the Netter's PayPal link, so you can buy me a drink if you want to, or buy her a drink. She probably deserves it more than I do. But that's always there for you. And yeah, that's next Friday. And that brings us around to the following Saturday, which is over on Netter's Network. And honestly, although she's got a bunch of films planned out, I just don't remember which one.
Oh, let me look.
Is next. Did you already create the stream?
I thought I did. If I haven't, I will tomorrow. Cat People is February 4th.
Which one?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, January 7th. Sorry, I got these out of order.
Yeah, January
Captain
7th.
America.
Captain America, the First Avenger.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the one from the 90s.
The Salinger one with the ears glued onto his cowl. That was and Ronnie Cox as the president.
Oh, that's funny. Now I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Which Cat People are you doing next month? Is it the remake or the original?
Yeah, it's the one with Malcolm McDowell and
Natasha Kinski.
Natasha Kinski, yeah.
Okay, and Nanette O'Toole was in that as well.
And yes, I remember every scene she is in with great detail because I would rewind and watch them over and over. Okay, so it's just the pool scene, but I remember very, 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 very vividly.
I've seen, as the Torrance bringing up, what about the Captain America movie from the 70s with Red? I've seen that one. Oh, I
have it on DVD. I could do that, but
I don't know. We got to do a good old days about the 70s Captain America movies. Oh no,
it is bad. It is. Don't get me wrong. I watched it in the 70s, and I used to take my Mego Captain America figure and put it onto my Evel Knievel motorcycle. And as far as I was concerned, this was, that was my my Captain America. But as I got older and I watched the 1960s Marvel superheroes cartoons and kind of got to understand who Captain America was. I was like, yeah, Captain America is a true red, white, and blue, America loving, patriot, not a goofy ass hippie driving around in the van.
It's so, and they got Christopher Lee to be the villain in the sequel. And I'm like, who's he playing? The Red Skull? No, they just have him playing just some generic, I guess, Eastern European.
Because
guys.
they never had the rights for any of that stuff.
They never had the rights to the villain, so he can't be playing Baron Zemo or whatever his name is, or something like that. No, it has to.
This is why the Incredible Hulk did so well, not trying to follow the comics, by just being its own thing.
It made it like the Fugitive, yeah.
Yeah, it made it like the essence of what the Hulk was, but didn't play it as a comic character. And then later on, when they tried to bring in, Daredevil and Thor and whatnot, and they started to get the rights to do some of that Marvel stuff, they had, John Rhys Davies playing Kingpin and stuff like that. It was like, yeah, but you're still kind of half-hearting it you know. That's why when they finally got around to, Captain America, the first Avenger, and the whole shared Marvel universe, they really went for it. There was something there,
Yeah.
But, nah.
And now they're rudderless, it feels. I'm being
Oh, they
polite
very
by
much
saying
are.
that.
I'm still disappointed that they didn't have Joseph Mascolo play the Kingpin in the Hulk. Yeah, I can see that too. But I do have the DVDs that were released. I bought them. The ones that weren't released, I've got the bootlegs. But I've got all the physical media. I've got the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man. I've got the I forget who it was that played Doctor Strange. That was another one. He was not instead of being a
Surgeon.
surgeon, he was like a psychologist or something like
Why do
that.
they do that all the time? Stop it.
I don't fracking know, man. It's just, I don't know. It's just, oh my gosh. Hey, can someone get that bot? We've been on long enough that well, actually, I think we've had so many big YouTubers come in here to say hi. They brought the bots with them.
I was just thinking, DC wise, though, there could have been a great opportunity to have Andre the Giant play Solomon Grundy. Think about it. Andre the Giant.
That would have been good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but Solomon Grundy did get a live action representation.
Really?
Adam West and Burt Ward did the what was that called? Where they did the whole live action thing with the Justice League and the Legion of Doom, and it was like a superhero roast. Yeah, check it out.
That's funny. And Solomon Grundy showed up on that. Yeah,
and Solomon Grundy was in it. Absolutely, yeah. They had basically all the ones that you saw in the Legion of Doom in the Super Friends. They all got live action representations. Yeah.
I actually gave points to Justice League, the animated series, that when they finally got around to the Injustice League, the team of supervillains, the one constant was always Solomon Grundy. He was always on that evil team. It's like
Solomon Grundy kill Super Friends.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. It was Dr. Pornstash. That's what it was.
Oh,
no, it's true. It's true. I've
seen bad.
It. You know who the villain was in that? It was the mother from Curb Your Enthusiasm. What's her name?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen the show.
You guys all know who I mean, though.
I think I know.
I have the whole series on DVD. Never watched the damn thing. Seriously, I kid you not.
It's a funny show. It's just it's wrong on a lot of levels. It's just it's.
She's also, I think she's also the one that did the voice of Archer's mother in Archer. Pretty sure it's the same actress. But yeah. But we'll save all that stuff for good old days or something in the future. But Charles Band did a better job making a Doctor Strange movie than and he didn't own the rights to the character. There you go. But anyway, so that's 2022. Stick with us in 2023. We'll continue this ride together, and we'll see where the social media is taking us. We'll
try to make things better.
We'll try to make things better. We will look for the positive, like Ghostbusters, and I hear they're working on a Top Gun sequel, which, of course, they are. They have to,
No, we have to now deconstruct Maverick and make him pay for his sins, and which is like the exact opposite of.
The nice thing is though that Tom Cruise has complete control over that, so it ain't going to happen. Yeah.
That was a good movie, Maverick. Okay, yeah.
But anyway, so Any last words on 2022, Age of Boomer,
Well,
or
the
any?
door hits you on the way out. I hated 2022. This has been a bad year for me personally, and a bad year in entertainment. This is like the year where we're streaming all of these exclusive streaming shows. I mean, what's been good? I like Tulsa King. That's good. I like Tokyo Vice.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Yellowstone. People rave about it. But then Yellowstone, I think, is just on regular TV anyway, right? So I don't. All these
I'm
streaming
not
shows.
sure. My mom is real big on it.
Okay,
I bought the DVD collection for her, but I never saw it myself.
gotcha. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the new year brings. I do know that I think we're going to see a lot less spending on streaming content in the new year.
You know these things
Nobody
are
can
cheaper by
afford
the
it.
dozen, right? Deleted scenes. Just saying.
I need to
But
watch it again. I have it on Paramount Plus. I should watch it.
But anyway, so good. Netter, any last thoughts about 2022? Anything you want to say before we end this thing?
It's over.
Yeah, amen
Well,
to that.
One more day.
One day more. Yes. Oh, and Gorilla Random Thoughts. Was just watching his stream earlier today. He did a karaoke rendition of Barbie Girl that was hysterical. I loved it.
I've done a karaoke of that once before.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I had to play Ken in the rendition. Yeah.
It was. I mean, he had this whole story behind why he was doing it. He said, if I got to a certain number of subscribers, I'm going to do this thing. And he said, I'm a man of my word, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And he did. And it was hysterical. I mean, it was like you can't take it too seriously. It's like a buddy of mine that for karaoke, what are you going to sing? Man, I feel like a woman. It was hysterical, you know. Oh, great stuff. So by all means, subscribe to Gorilla Random Thoughts. He's a smaller channel. He's kind of starting out, but he's got a lot of great shorts. Go check them out. Hit like on every single one of them, and let's look forward to more content from him in 2023.
And that's it, Gorillas. If you wouldn't mind subbing to the people in the chat, if you haven't already, sub to Troy.
Yeah, you know, the people in the panel were linked below. Well, I'm guessing he must have subscribed to me because after I saw his show, I saw my subscription go up by 1, so I figured it was probably him. And but deleted scenes is of course dropping all the different links. But Age of Boomer and Netter are down below in the.
And Gorilla, I just subbed to you, and I appreciate a sub back.
Yep. So we'll get you up, get you into the community, get you some subscriptions, and yeah, that's kind of how it works. We grow together, right?
Together we grow.
So there we go. Anyway, I want to thank y'all. Sorry about this week was just a week, and even though I recorded a monologue for the opening, I never actually got around to doing the opening.
Madanui said your new subscriber was him. In fact, you even mentioned at the top of your stream.
No. You subscribed while we were in the show. I was talking about 2 hours before the show. Yeah. Either way, I super appreciate it. I really do. You guys are awesome. And no, you guys are great. So thanks, everyone. You know what? I just realized I still have my my video, my monologue from last week that I didn't even get to do because I didn't do a stream last week because of my internet problems. It's not what we're doing tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and play it. Hold on a second. the heat of battle, my father wove a tapestry of obscenity that, as far as we know, is still hanging in space over Lake Michigan. I don't know, Ralphie. It just sounds like another Friday night last call, where the buttered rum flows and the holiday cheer grows. And as we wind the year down, I just want to kick back with a holiday classic. Tonight, you chose it, the original A Christmas Story from 1983. So get comfortable, top off your Ovaltine, and don't shoot your eye out. Here we go. Yeah, it would have been good, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do that rewatch next year. But yeah, now that my internet's working, maybe you gotta forgive me for the rinky-dink operation. But anyway, so that's the show tonight, kids. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for hanging out with me all this year, guys. Take care. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Night.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.